Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. While waiting for the next episode of Being a DIK, I decided to try out a similar game and I stumbled upon City of Broken Dreamers. As a fan of Cyberpunk 2077, I found this game appealing due to its genre similarities, and I started playing. In this video, I'd like to compare these two visual novels and talk about what makes each of them stand out for us. Let's start with the backstory. As many already know, Being a DIK is a youth visual novel about students that shares some similarities with the American Pie movie. The entire series of events revolves around our main character, his friends, and, of course, his girlfriends. The novel is full of jokes and pranks, much like the American Pie movie. I don't know for sure, but it seems like the author of the visual novel was inspired by that movie, and it made the game truly captivating. The plot is well crafted, with attention to detail, and it turns the experience into more than just an erotic game with empty characters, but into a whole movie with well-developed characters. Each character has their own personality and quirks, and we can choose to build relationships with some of them while others push us away. This keeps us interested and eagerly awaiting the next episode. Also, I must mention that a humor-filled game can be more enjoyable, comedic, and fun than other genres, but that might be a personal preference. The character artwork is also top-notch, and the graphics make it feel like you're watching a film. Additionally, our character can have different personalities, being either bold and capricious or sweet and polite, which opens up various relationship options with different girls. Now, moving on to the next game, City of Broken Dreamers. At the beginning of the game, we find ourselves in Los Angeles in the year 2042, a city ruled by corporations and the elite, much like Cyberpunk 2077. The game mainly takes place in a dark city resembling Night City. Although it's a visual novel, sometimes we come across animated renders, and all the characters slightly resemble those from Cyberpunk 2077, but without the heavily pronounced implants. There are also dolls and non-living characters in the game. Millions of people live in blissful ignorance of the excesses of the rich or the degradation of the poor. The leaders hold more power than politicians, and the police have less power than corporate mercenaries. Our protagonist is one of these mercenaries, one of the best and elite, known as ghosts. In another part of the city, a young girl becomes the center of a conflict that could tear the city apart. As we search for her, we encounter allies and enemies, just like us, who have been used by the city. Each character in both games has their dreams, motives, and is broken in their own way. This is reminiscent of Cyberpunk 2077, just think of Judy. Now, for my impressions. I must say, the atmosphere and graphics are excellent. The characters all look very realistic, perhaps even more so than in Being a DIK. The plot is decent, but compared to the previous game, it falls a bit short. The girls felt a bit empty and boring. I can only highlight the doc, she seemed to be the most intriguing and elusive. However, in the end, she also became accessible. Still, the cyberpunk atmosphere is very appealing, and the fact that we play the role of a mercenary adds to the interest. One drawback for me was that we don't see ourselves at all. We only see our character dressed up as a mercenary, and it feels like our character is constantly wearing a mask. I don't know about you, but seeing my character, like in Being a DIK, is more interesting to me. If we compare City of Broken Dreamers with other games of the same genre, it might rank among the top ones. However, when specifically comparing it to Being a DIK, it felt dull. It lacks a well-crafted and engaging plot, and I found myself skipping through many moments. Most of the characters felt empty and boring. After my first playthrough, I realized that I just wasted my time. Also, if you're a fan of Cyberpunk 2077, I don't recommend it because after playing this game, it might not be as enjoyable to read through and play visual novels all the time instead of listening. For fans of Being a DIK, you can give City of Broken Dreamers a try while waiting for the next episode. Who knows, maybe you'll find something you like in it. However, I'm confident that Being a DIK will still remain the best game in this genre for you. As for my verdict, I played City of Broken Dreamers for a while, but I expected more and realized it wasn't what I wanted. I deleted the game and now I'm eagerly awaiting the 10th episode of Being a DIK. According to the latest news, the episode will likely be released in autumn or towards the end of summer. Well, if you found this video interesting, please subscribe and like it, and I'll see you in another video.